Sharon is Sharon.
Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, and Rob. Let's talk about this shitty game.
Let's not. How was your weekend before the game, Rob?
It was okay.
Yeah, it must be nice. I mean, I had family in town. You know, got to see my sister and brother-in-law and nephews and all, and went out to eat last night. It's nice little weekend. Until this shit show.
I was about to say.
Until this shit show. Guess what, guys?
4:05 on a Sunday.
Let's say it now because I noticed we always forget to give the score because we get so pissed off. We got shellacked 30-6, guys, by the Raiders. 30-6.
Yeah.
Oops, I already cursed already. It's time to give the warning. We're gonna curse, guys. We're gonna curse a lot. If you don't want to hear cursing, this is not going to be the episode for you. There, we've said it. I think people should be
fucking field goals. What the?
No. It was we had a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
We had a touchdown. It wasn't field goals. We did get a touchdown. A touchdown.
And we missed a 2-point conversion. You're right.
Yeah. Let's start the therapy session. Let's start going. Let's go. It's time. My. Yeah, this is just like, I'm getting to that point where I'm almost not even as pissed off as I used to be when we lose now. It's like I'm used to it. I'm expecting it to a certain degree. I'm going into it. And I think what just
2 years ago.
I think what just pisses me off is this year I was optimistic. And this game even, I was like, okay, we should beat the Raiders at least. Nope. I mean, if you had told me a couple weeks ago that the Raiders were going to fire Josh McDaniels, they put in a guy who's never coached an NFL game in his life. They'd pull Jimmy G for Aiden O'Connell. We'd hold Devontae Adams to under 35 yards receiving yards. Of course, I'm going to say, oh, yeah, we're going to win that game every single time. Well, apparently not every single time. Apparently not.
Not tonight.
I mean, what the hell, guys? And the big story about this is not even the loss. The big story is going to be the loss of Daniel Jones, who got hurt again in the first quarter. I already heard some people calling for Dable's head, basically, because it's his fault that Daniel Jones is the, toughness of a porcelain doll. But I'm sorry, like, it wasn't a neck injury. It was a knee injury. You can't blame that on Dable. If anything, you would think, okay, Daniel Jones coming back from injury and getting out in the first quarter, that can't do anything worse for his position as a potential future starter of this league. No, it can. Because you know what? It's not just his play. It's the fact that the guy can't stay healthy. He's been hurt every single time except last year. We forgot that because he got healthy that 1 year.
I was about to say, last year, everyone talked about how great he was because he played the whole year. Let's not forget that he did not. Oh, you're just drinking a horn.
I'm drinking out of my horn tonight. This is the horn loss game.
He did not play a whole year until it was last year.
No.
Right.
And he did. He's hurt every single game this year. It's like, he could come back and go back to Daniel Jones he was last year, and I'd still be fucking fed up and done. I can't take it anymore. The best availability, I said, damn it, I messed up. The best ability is availability. He's never available. Never. I'm done.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, could you
Either
imagine
DJ,
Bill Sims
either
or Eli Manning or any of these kind of guys going, "Oh, let's get her," how pissed off they'd be if they were hurt all the time. And it's just you don't see. I don't know. I can't take it. And I hate to blame a guy for injuries. I really do because it's like you're hurt. You're hurt.
Hold on. How do you put that horn down? Where do you set it? How do you not spill it?
There's a stand.
Oh, okay. As you more badass.
You're right. Seriously. If it was musical too, that'd be amazing. But it's not. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it gets to the point where at this point, and we talked about, the tanking, the not tanking, and all that kind of stuff. Listen, tank away. I'm sorry, tank away. Because we're one game out for being tied for the worst record in the league. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. You're not going to get a quarterback by going 8-9, guys.
Yeah, there's no going 8-9 at this point.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, every single game we win at this point is one more game that sets us further back against getting the quarterback we want. It's done. The season's over, guys. I hate to say it that way, but the rest of this season is assess what you have and figure out who you have to move on from. That's where we're at. Point blank. I mean, you tell me any other reason to play the rest of the season like this.
Ego?
Ego? That's on them. I'm saying as a Giant fan, what should I wish for?
Oh, well, what you... yeah, that's different.
That's what I... No else. There's nothing else. I need a quarterback for my team. The best chance of getting a quarterback in what is supposedly a very rich quarterback draft is for us to lose. Which, guess what, guys? We seem to be very good at this year. Very fucking good. But, I mean, that's just where we're at. And I'll say this as well. When I talk about this, when I'm talking about how pissed off at the team, I should clarify. I am in no way, shape, or anything else upset at the defense. Still. Not even more upset at the defense. Because you look at the game, okay, 30 points we gave up. Yeah, that looks really bad on paper. But 10 of those points were because of the turnovers, the interceptions, because we finally did let Tommy Devito throw. Now we found out why they didn't let him throw last week.
Yep.
So you take those 10 points and you go, okay, 20 points. You're gonna get pissed off at a defense for letting up 20 points? And the offense couldn't get anything going whatsoever. I didn't have the time possession stats on here, but they can't be good. They're nowhere near what you want them to be.
No.
It's just not good, guys. And again, can't be mad at the defense. I'm not going to sit there and be mad at them. Been nice to see maybe a sack or two in the game. That'd have been nice. One thing we're missing. But we had only one QB hit. I mean, Aiden O'Connell was safe as could be pretty much the entire time. But otherwise, the defense did their job, guys. If the defense is responsible for 20 points, at one point you got to go, listen, this is on the offense. I mean, it's just sad that until like the middle of the third quarter, Tommy DeVito had more completions to the Raiders than did the Giants. That's not wrong. That stat is not wrong, guys. That's the sad part.
That's sad because it's true.
And I blame this partially on the Giants organization. We talked about this, and I was thinking about this a lot during the pregame. I really didn't want to put this out into the world. And it didn't happen like I was thinking in my head, because I'm thinking like, okay, what happens if Daniel Jones re-injures his neck or something? I wasn't thinking have a whole separate new injury, but we talked about it last week that it was franchise mismanagement to go ahead and allow your backup quarterback to be a guy you don't trust to throw the ball. We did it again. And again, we needed him. And he couldn't do it. So this is 2 weeks in a row now of franchise mismanagement, point blank. There's no other way to word that. Unless you want to throw some cuss words in it.
This is
franchise fucking mismanagement. That's what it is.
Yes. No, 100%. Like,
you didn't think this guy was worthy of throwing a pass in the NFL.
You sit there and you trade for another quarter. Oh, I shouldn't say trade, but you sign one. Yeah, you sign another quarterback. But you still put in the guy you can't trust to throw the ball, which that is his one job. That's his job.
Yep.
Is to throw the ball.
Yep.
And you can't trust this guy to do it. What are we doing?
You know, and you talk about it like they went out and signed Matt Barkley. Okay, great. Matt Barkley. Great. Matt Barkley sucks. He's been out of the league for a couple of years. Let's be honest, what he is. He's been out of the league for a couple of years. But if you trust him to throw the ball over Danny DeVito again, Tommy DeVito. Hell, fuck! We might as well have Danny DeVito as a quarterback. Maybe go quacking around like the Penguin and scare people. But I mean, like, if you don't trust this man to throw the ball, then get him the fuck off the roster. He shouldn't be there. If you're a quarterback, could you imagine a scenario where someone's like, "Oh, we're going to keep this backup running back here, but we don't trust him to run the ball.
He only has one leg."
You know, oh, here's this backup wide receiver. Hopefully, he doesn't have to catch the ball.
He only has one arm, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, we got this backup kicker. He can't kick for a shit, but whatever.
Yeah, he's only got one leg, but whatever.
I mean, it's like, can you imagine any other scenario that'd be acceptable? So why is it acceptable at the most important position on the entire team? Because flat out, whether you want to believe it or not, because I know there's some people that'll say, "Oh, well, they're all important," blah blah blah. Kumbaya. No, fuck it. This is the most important position on the goddamn team. And you had it to be backed up by a guy you do not trust to throw the ball. And then when you finally let him throw the ball, we find out why you don't trust him. Because he throws the wrong team. This is not a guy that should be on an NFL roster. I'm sorry. He needs to retire now. Hang it up.
Maybe.
Congrats on a great career, Tommy DeVito. You're done.
Maybe he just understands the jerseys.
And on top of it, we don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Jones. He was out for this game, obviously, from the injury. But usually when you're taken to the tent, taken to the back, and then called out for the day, that's not a good sign for coming back quickly.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm calling it again. I called it last week. Again, I'm saying it. He's not a great quarterback, but it's time to go ring Carson Wentz. He's not great. He's the best available free agent one. It's just I just can't take it anymore. I can't. I'm at that point where it's just like, add like 30 void years onto Daniel Jones's thing and spread out his cap hit. Let's move on. I don't know how you do that necessarily. I'm not a capologist, goddammit. But I can't take it anymore.
Way more grace.
I fucking can't take it. I think it's worse to see a team that's been playing really crappy go against us after making decisions and changing things around, new quarterback, new coach, new OC, and all of a sudden they're sitting there celebrating while they're stomping on our quarterback's head. Because God forbid we could block again.
You act like we could block all year.
But part of it is, again, and I blasted Daniel Jones for this, so I have to blast also, Tommy DeVito for this as well. Even though it's more acceptable out of a rookie quarterback who, quite frankly, shouldn't be in the league. But there was definitely a few of those sacks, at the very least, a few were on DeVito because he had to throw the ball away. You had to move away from the pressure. He's just like everything else. He's not good at that.
Are you trying to say that our quarterback play has been under pressure?
I'm saying our quarterback play sucks, and our quarterback
we have
sucks.
Not had good line play to protect.
No, but again, when you are a quarterback, you're going to face pressure. But when you turn around and run to the next guy that's not getting out of the pressure. You know, when you're five yards deep from the line of scrimmage, and you can go 3 yards up and get tackled 2 yards shy. That's not good. You're supposed to throw the ball away. You're supposed to move out of the pocket to throw the ball away. That's what you're supposed to do. He doesn't have the ability to see that, and you can tell he's getting hit and taking sacks and things he shouldn't be taking sacks on. You know, it's utterly ridiculous. This season has gotten ridiculous. But yeah,
ridiculous.
It's just it's like you gotta like just throw the white flag at this point. It's like tank time. It's tanking time. Thomas the Tank over here. I mean, it's just like that's where I'm at. It's tanking. It's tanking a tank. You know, because what else? Like I said, we have no chance of making the playoffs now. I'm not even sure if we're mathematically limited, but we probably are.
I'm going to say we are.
Yeah, I'm going to say we are. Because the chances of us beating every single game.
So we're 2-7. Yeah. Mathematically, we're out of it.
Well, no, we're not mathematically out of it yet, technically. We'd be 10-7 if we won out the rest of the year, but we know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We know it's not going to happen. We're not going to make the playoffs. We're not going to make the playoffs, and I don't give a shit where we end up. I really don't. There is no award for barely missing the playoffs. Ask the Lions.
I mean, it looked pretty good this year, so.
But there was no award they got last year. So, you know what? Fuck it. Lose every game, guys. Let's go 2-15. Let's go for it. 2-15.
I don't want to go 2-15.
I don't want to either, but it's better than going, 8-9 and missing out on a good quarterback. Let's lose. Let's keep on losing. Who's on the lose train?
We might be tied with Panthers. This is the worst team in football.
Well, the Panthers are morons. They don't have their own draft pick. Freaking Bears got 2 draft picks like that. Can't believe how lucky the Bears are to have that. That's insanity. Absolutely insanity.
And be as bad as they are this year.
It's like, part of I think what gets me so pissed off is I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Bucks and the Texans, but that's part of what pisses me off is you got a quarterback like that comes out of as a rookie, guns a-blazing, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, gets the ball back down by a score with 30 seconds left and leads his team to a victory. I mean, I want that. That's what I want. Is it asking too much?
It might be.
At a minimum, can I ask for a quarterback who can throw the fucking ball to a wide open Jalen Hyatt? Because it was both quarterbacks that left him sitting there going, I'm over fucking here, wide open.
I'm right here.
He practically had people lining up with like those like things they hold in their hand at the airports when they're trying to like show a plane where to go. Like multiple times, he's wide open, no one near him. It's just absolute bullshit. Jalen Hyatt, point blank, should be lighting up the NFL as being like the most exciting rookie coming out of this draft because he's open that often. That's how often he's open.
Instead, we'll have to watch him with terrible quarterback play. It is god awful.
Yeah, it's just absolutely pathetic. And Evan Neal's hurt again. He's had to flip burgers with his left hand now or something. I don't know. He's just like
he might as well stay out. I'm done with him too. We're talking about like terrible quarterback play. I'm done with terrible right tackle play.
You know what though? Here's my thing. I'm done with him as a tackle. And we talked about this earlier. I don't want to see him at tackle anymore. But I did want to see him at guard. I want to see him get healthy and play guard and see what he does. But just so I know what I got. But it's just like it's like everything that possibly could have gone wrong for the Giants has gone wrong. Pretty much everything.
I did so.
Yeah, it's just it's got to that point where I'm numb to it. I've accepted this is what we are. We're shit. And I think we got the Cowboys next week. You're gonna play the Cowboys with Tommy DeVito. Micah Parsons already licking his chops.
I'm just hoping it's not 40-0 again.
I'd be glad if it's 40-0 at this point, both because it'll help us get the draft pick, and it's not 50-0 or 60-0.
I mean, I'm okay with 21-0, man. You don't have to go drastic to 40.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's gonna get to that point though, and I hate to ever get to that point, but I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna start rooting for the other team because I want the pick. I need the quarterback. And I hate to ever have that mentality. I really do. I hate it. But it's what's best long-term for the Giants is to lose and get the quarterback they want, regardless of who it is. I'm not going to say one particular name. I know everybody's probably thinking Caleb. Everybody thinks that's the,
I don't know if he's the answer, but once again,
listen, he's got to be better.
Yeah, I mean, shit, we got 3 quarterbacks who can't play as solid as one star quarterback this year. So
it's almost to the point where maybe we can go and say, hey, is Desmond Ridder available?
He might be an improvement. And I've been bashing that guy all year.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew might be an improvement.
Gardner Minshew is an improvement. Not Mike. He is an improvement. Point blank.
And he is.
I'm telling you right now.
The most talented second-string quarterback in the league.
I don't know about that. I'd have to think about that. He's definitely a very good backup. I don't know if I'd say the best. I'd have to really think about that. But I mean, look what we have going on. So here's a top quarterbacks we're talking about here. Okay, Caleb Williams is obviously number one on most people's boards. Again, Rob and I will figure out ours postseason. We might start giving you guys some coverage on these college quarterbacks just because that's what we have to live for now. But he's most people's big board. He's number one. Drake May, you got from North Carolina. Bo Nix from Oregon. Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan. And Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. That's your big 6 we're really looking at as far as quarterbacks. Now, Sanders will probably stay in College of the Year because he's making a schnicky load of money in NIL. So, and the big 2 you're looking at is Drake May and Caleb Williams. Guys, if you want one of those 2, you're not going to be able to do that from the 10th position. You got to do that from one of the top 3 or 4 picks and hope that the second one's available. Because whoever has the number 1 pick is probably going to take Caleb Williams. Time to lose.
Probably. I mean, you got to figure what the Panthers got the 1 and 2 pick.
No, the Bears do.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, apologies. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bears have the 1 pick because, yeah.
It's it reminds me of a quote from Reese Bobby, father of legendary NASCAR driver Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. It's time to be last, guys. We're not first. It's time to be last.
Shake and bake.
It's exactly. Because it's time. Because if you want to really get better, we're not going to do it by keeping Daniel Jones as our starting quarterback. We're not going to do it by having schlubs at backup like Tommy DeVito. We need a legit quarterback. We don't have a single one on the roster. The most important position is our weakest position. That's not good, guys. That's not good. So, let's talk a little about the game itself, though. We should, instead of just bitching about it forever. As much as I love bitching about it, we gotta give kudos to where we can give kudos. So, I will give kudos to Saquon Barkley, who ended up 16 carries, 90 yards, the 5.6 yard average there. That's a good day running the ball. On top of that, had 3 catches for 23 yards. So I'll give it to Saquon. That's a good one.
Yeah. Let's give it a Slayton too. 59 yards for 4 catches.
Exactly. Slayton did good. I thought Daniel Bellinger getting 3 catches, 43 yards, caught every single time he was targeted. Again, a good day for him. Trying to fill Darren Waller's shoes there.
Wandale.
Wandale, he had a touchdown, so I guess you give it to him for getting the touchdown. But I mean,
before this game, this terrible game. But he had 35 yards, 4 catches for he averaged 8.8 yards and a touchdown. So
I'll give it to also Jalen Hyatt, because if he had a halfway decent backup quarterback from the Canadian Football League, he'd have over 100 yards.
Someone that actually could throw him the goddamn ball.
Dude, I'm telling you, did you see that first one, especially that Daniel Jones missed him on? He was wide the fuck open. Like, how do you miss that? It's like playing a game of catch in the backyard. Wide open. That was used to be Daniel Jones' thing, was that deep ball. Where did it go?
That was like playing catch with your kid.
Yeah.
And passing to each other, and all of a sudden he just throws you a big old bomb.
And then your kid's like all pissed off at you because you can't throw the ball properly.
Well, I was going to say the kid can't throw it to me, but yeah, that's fine.
I'm using the other analogy since Daniel Jones has been in the league now going year 5 and Jalen Hyatt's a rookie, so I'm using the other route. So we'll give it.
I'm right here,
to
Dad.
him.
Dad, here. Dad.
I will give kudos. I will give kudos also to Xavier McKinney. He had 10 tackles in the day, leading the team. Deonte Banks also, he did have 1 or 2 plays that he made some mistakes on, but overall he had a pretty good game. Listen, again, we talked about it before with Davante Adams. Anytime you hold Davante Adams to 34 yards on 4 catches, you did something right. So Deonte Banks had a pretty good game there, I thought. Bobby Okereke. Cordell Flott didn't have a bad game. No.
Yeah, Cordell Flott had a good game.
Cordell Flott had a bad game. Bobby Okereke had 7 more tackles on his way of breaking the Giants' single season tackle record, because he probably will break that this year if he stays healthy, which means he probably won't be healthy the whole year, because that's the Giant way. Calling it like it is, man. Call it like it is. But I mean, so I don't want to be, like I said, all negative. A lot of the positivity really goes on the defense, though, because the defense, I really didn't think, again, at 30 points, it looks bad on paper. But when you're being, thrown out there left and right because your offense can't get a drive going, and when you're getting put in bad positions because you're throwing 2 interceptions, the defense honestly did not look so bad. And what was it with the fucking announcers kissing Josh Jacobs' ass? Am I the only one who's annoyed by that shit?
Finally runs more than 25 yards. Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He didn't have a bad game. And I know he was going to hit 100 yards until that last tackle for loss took it back, but at that point. But 26 carries, 98 yards. That's a 3.8 yard carry average. Don't get me wrong. That's not horrendous. But that's not kiss his ass numbers.
No.
I heard much more positivity about him than about Saquon, who almost was 2 yards per carry better. Yeah.
Josh Jacobs had utility yards, if you will. Like he was the guy that they just kept giving the ball to.
Yeah.
So he got 98 yards, but once again,
it was a volume day.
Yeah. You can't.
That's a volume day. I mean, to me, I look at that and go, it's not that good.
I mean, granted, it's one of his better performances of the year, but
that's not saying much. You get one game, you had negative 2 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he had one game over 100 yards this year?
I think this was going to be his first until that happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, that's where we're at there basically. So real quick, let's pay the bills and let's start going through some of the comments here. So everybody's been pretty patient. We got a lot of comments and we want to read them all real quick. So let's pay the bills real quick first.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
All righty. Let's go for it here. Deb starts off saying, fuck. On a positive note, not having Gano in the game did not hurt us. Yeah. Connor says, that's the wrap of the season. We are pathetic, and now Daniel hurt even more. WT fuck. How can they not have better plays? Do like we did as kids. Get away from your guy and catch it. Here's the thing. Again, I don't think the plays were the problem for a good amount of this, guys. There was, again, how many times that it was Jalen Hyatt wide open? The problem is we have horrible play at the most important position in the game. That's what it boils down to. Connor says, congrats to Antonio Pierce. First game and a winner against his old team. Yeah, I guess congrats to him. I guess we can say that. He also says, Eli, what the fuck? Get off your ass and get down there and play. Yeah, Eli's done. He also said, fucking Fred Flintstone here drinking from a horn. Listen, you leave my horn alone. Okay. And then he says, did we get the first pick in the draft yet? No. If you look at
a few more games.
We look at the NFL standings overall, and I'm not going to go into tiebreakers because there's so many freaking tiebreaker bullshit scenarios. It's not even funny. I don't pretend to know them all. Patriots, 2 wins. They're the worst team in the AFC. The NFC, us with 2 wins. The Cardinals with 2 wins. The Cardinals with 1 win. The Bears with 2 wins, and the Panthers with 1 win. So right now we're tied with the Bears and the Patriots for 3rd worst record in the league. So it all depends on how the tiebreakers go as far as that. Like I said, I don't know the tiebreakers. I'm not going to get into that. It's too early in the year to get into that a week-by-week basis. But so we're top. No matter what, we got a top 5 pick right now, guys. And that's what you need to even want to sniff at getting a top quarterback, a top 5 pick. And maybe give up a little something extra if you want to get the first pick of the draft or the first pick that you want. Because let's be honest here, the Panthers and the Bears. Yeah.
Bears.
The Bears have both their picks, guys. They have 2 top 5 picks. It's going to be hard to beat them out for the quarterback we want. Caleb's probably going to be a Bear unless they start winning. What's going to happen?
Probably not.
Unless somebody unless somebody outright owns that first overall pick and needs a quarterback, because the Bears would be smart and probably trade everybody just to get him. Connor says, trade Saquon. He deserves opportunity elsewhere. The trade deadline is passed. Cannot trade him. And he already said he doesn't want to go anywhere. So,
yep, he wants to bleed blue.
Deb says, couple more games, Connor. We will have first pick. Be patient. I don't think Connor has patience. I really don't.
Nope. I think that.
Connor says, LOL, Deb, especially now that Daniels is out. Hey, Drew, at least he got some passes out there. They missed easy catches. Who? I think he means 2. Said a who in there. Unless he's talking about little Cindy Who from Whoville.
I think he's calling you a hoe.
Oh, he said 2 afterwards. But yeah.
No, he's definitely calling you a hoe.
Yeah, well, listen, guilty as charged. Deb says, get rid of Neal, useless. Again, I would love to see him still play guard to see what he can do there. But yeah, overall, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. We've mentioned this before as far as how his contract is, because of the fact that he is, again, a first-round pick. So hypothetically, let's say we don't pick up the 5th-year option, which would make sense. If you cut him next year, he counts $6.7 million against the cap. Okay. You cut him next year, the dead cap hit is 14.5. We lose $7.8 million. He's a Giant next year, folks. If you cut him the following year, $7.8 million. His dead cap would be $7.8 million. So we can cut him after next year if we want to just break even. But why would you? Yeah, something really bad would have to happen. I think he's going to be riding the bench for the next 2 years as a backup.
Yep.
We'll see. My dad chimes in and says, no sacks again today for our defense. Unacceptable. Yeah, like I said, that's the one knock I will say is they let a guy who's in his second game starting ever get way too comfortable back there. It would have been nice to see a little more, hits the noggin or something.
Yeah.
So, and it can't just be Thibodeau, guys, because I know people are probably thinking Thibodeau because he's been the guy, he was going to this game number 3 in the NFL in sacks. Thibodeau is doing a job, guys. You cannot count on one person to go ahead and be your entire, passing rush at that point. It just doesn't work that way.
Sexy Ducks.
Where's Zizo Jalari still in the IR? He's hopefully coming back next week, and maybe we can do something there, at least with that part of the game. Serious Wasp says, who is making the decisions over there for real? And I think, and Wasp, people are to tell me if I'm wrong in this. I think you put this comment when I was saying about, having once again, second week in a row, having a useless backup quarterback. And that's going to be a Joe Shane, Brian Dable kind of move. And I can't say who has the final say or if they were in agreement on that decision. I will say this. I think a good amount of that decision does come by the fact that we have no money. There's no money at this whatsoever. I was hoping when we traded away Leonard Williams originally that we'd have some cap space from that, but no, we paid for all his salary to move him. And I'm not upset that we did that because we did that to get the better pick. The second round pick and the 5th round pick. It's a good pickup for Leonard Williams. But we don't have money to pick up players now, guys. That's the problem we're running into. That's an issue. And yeah. There's no fixing that one there. Raphael, what's up, man? He says, hello everyone. Salutes. He's all happy probably. He's all happy they won. Congrats, Raphael.
It's like sleeping with the enemy. He was on here.
My dad says DJ is probably done for the year. Tyrod is out at least 3 more games and probably more. And we have maybe the worst and most unprepared rookie quarterback in any NFL roster. Yes, that's a pretty accurate statement there. It's almost like if there was this duo of goofballs who have been recommending we draft a quarterback in the draft and had spent some time scouting the late round picks looking for people to draft. I wonder if there was 2 such goofballs, like especially if they were like giant goofballs, these guys. Like maybe if they had recommended a guy from Shepherd, for example. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that somebody probably did that. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure they did. Like you said, it's just, and that's the problem I have with it, I think to a certain degree, is because I know that you and I saw this problem as a potential issue going into the season. And again, not saying Rob and I are idiots, because we're not. We're not idiots.
We definitely are.
But the fact that but I'm saying, if we saw this potential problem, you bet your ass Joe Shane should have fucking seen this problem. Where was the work on doing it? Where was the work on fixing this problem? Because I don't see it at all. I don't, And instead, what I do see is I see other guys like Aiden O'Connell, who faced today from the Raiders, Tyson Bagent from the Bears at that point, guys with late round quarterbacks that are doing something. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying any of these guys are going to be great quarterbacks. This isn't me talking about Bagent or O'Connell as being the next Tom Brady. But I'm still saying you can get a guy who's a smart football player in these late rounds who could be your backup quarterback, potentially be a good cheap backup for years. Look at Tyson Bagent against the Saints this week here. Had a pretty bad game. 18 of 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's still numbers we'd kill for most weeks.
I was about to say way better than Devito.
You look at, obviously O'Connell, we played him 16 of 25, 209 yards. Much better. It's just something that we got to figure out here, guys. We cannot go with having these subpar quarterbacks and expecting them to win. It's not going to happen. Deb says, hey, Raphael, congrats to your team. They did deserve to win. Good luck moving forward. And Connor says, no reason to get good QB now. Get first pick. There's no good QB out there. Listen, if there was a good QB, he'd already be signed. You just want one that can at least run a somewhat functioning offense.
Yes.
That's all you want. Dakota says 8-1. He's bragging about his team winning. How about 4-1, Dakota? Like 4 rings to 1. Just saying. Still matters. Still matters.
Like
pretty bad. Eagles are still in the ring cellar of the NFC East. Deb says Connor's right. Leave DeVito in so we can tank. Oh my gosh, it'd be funny. Connor says it's just sad. I know so many Eagles and Cowpuke fans I have to deal with. Thank God we've won Super Bowls, but we consistently suck. Consistently, even last year's playoff team doesn't help. Yeah. Deb says, I'm with you, Drew. And I think that, again, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I hate about reading these comments so late sometimes. Like, I hope I'm not wrong in what they're saying. I don't want to put words in people's mouths. But I'm assuming she was talking about the whole tanking thing. There's no reason to win anymore. And it's true. Beef, what's up, says, first of all, get a coach that can call plays. I'm not talking about the head coach. I'm talking about the OC. I've seen a lot of comments on that. And honestly, I don't know. I feel like the offense is so inept right now. And the quarterback play is so horrible. I don't know if I can blame the OC at this point. I don't know if I can. I really don't. Is it his fault that he has crappy quarterbacks? Is it his fault that half of his line is? Is it his fault that his offensive line can't stay healthy? Is it his fault that receivers drop the ball?
It is his fault that his offensive line can't block.
But I'm saying, we do have
talent. We've talked about this ad nauseum. We do have talent. Not the best talent. We do have talent. Better than some in the NFL, but we have the worst line in the NFL. Like, yeah, we can blame on offensive line. Like, we just can't go out there and just have bodies not do anything. And that's what is happening with that offensive line.
But we've had Andrew Thomas, who finally came back to play this week and had been injured up until since the first week. You got JMS missed some games. Evan Neal's missed some games. Bredesen missed a game.
We talked about this. You said we talked about this and we're like, oh, we had some people come in, they look better. Tyrod looked better because he had some healthier offensive line play. But
no, I said he looked better because he can read a defense better. For the record,
touche.
I'm just saying. I'm not blaming him on poor offensive line. I do think some of this is bad talent overall. I really do.
It definitely is.
But the big thing is if you don't have a quarterback, you can't run an offense. That's what it boils down to in the end. So let's see. B says, if I have a high pick, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I'm trading for as many picks I can get. We need players. We need players, but again, if you don't have a quarterback, you're going absolutely nowhere in this league. It's too important a position. If I have, let's say, for example, we end up, I don't know, let's say the number 4 overall pick. I'm throwing a random number out there. And there's a quarterback available that we like. And I'm not going to say a name because there's so many names out there. It's too early. But let's just say we have a chance to get a quarterback we like. If you think this is the guy playing the most important position on the entire team, you don't get to pick that low very often. Hopefully, knock on wood, you don't get to pick that often that low. Go for it. Get the quarterback. Now, if you don't think there's a quarterback that's worth that pick, and somebody else wants to offer you a whole ton of picks for it, by all means do it. It's all based on what you think of the players that are there in front of you. If you think a great quarterback is there, take him. Because that's what your job is, to get that quarterback as a GM, as a architect of a franchise. You have to do that. You have to get the quarterback that you like. So go for it. My dad says, I don't want any NC quarterback. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Tar Heel quarterbacks have not exactly been the best. Looking at you, Mitchell Trubisky. But yeah. Connor says, saw Caleb Williams' big baby on field. He was crying and needed to be held. We need a leader, not a baby that cries. Again, I don't front in the fact that Rob and I do not watch a lot of college football during the season. We watch it afterwards when we start evaluating talent. So we'll take a look. Drum Recovery Network. As a Raider fan, your boy Bad Dog, who bailed on his postgame show, said Waller was going to make your offense dominant. I said, if he can stay on the field. Oops. Yeah, I mean, listen, we all kind of drank the Waller Kool-Aid this offseason. It's a very, very, very legit statement to say. We all thought Waller was going to be dominant because the Giants were talking about the whole entire time. And you know what? It's partially the press as well. The Giants reporters, and I'm not going to name any specific names because they were all doing it. Waller looks dominant. Waller looks amazing. No one can guard Waller. Waller. They were even talking about, at one point they took Waller out just so Daniel Jones had to throw to somebody else. I'm telling you, like, if they had kissed his ass anymore, they would have not known what he had for breakfast. They would have known if he was breastfed or not. Like, holy shit.
They knew what he ate last night.
Yeah, I mean, but we all fell for it. We all did. That's including us. Me and you talked about it too. We're like, I got all excited about it. Like, this is gonna be great,
Yeah, I mean, we also talked about like him staying healthy as well.
We did. We did.
We drank the Kool-Aid saying like, hey, like he's gonna be a weapon. He's our wide one as a tight end, but he's gotta stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah,
but we definitely drank the Kool-Aid saying whole postseason, off season, saying he's going to be our number one receiver,
and he has been our number one receiver. In all fairness, we were right on that part there. But if you look at his numbers, I mean, besides if you want to say the Washington Commander game, was he really dominant in these games? No. 36 yards against the Cowboys, 76 against the Cardinals, 20 against the Niners, 21 against the Seahawks, 86 against Miami, 43 against Buffalo, 98 against the Commanders, 4 yards against the Jets. Oh, obviously, he was out for most of the game against the Jets, but I'm just saying.
He was supposed to have a 1 in front of all those numbers.
I don't know about all of them. It's not Tyreek Hill here. I'm just saying.
Well, Tyreek Hill has 2, not a 1. He has a 2 in front of most of those.
I'm just saying, when you have 8 games into your season, okay, which is, for all intents and purposes, half a game, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, that's about half season, sorry, 5 of those games under 45 yards, it's not dominant.
Terrible.
It's not dominant. I would say terrible. Listen, he was on pace to do 750 yards or so. That's not bad from the tight end position. It's not. 750, 800 yards, like that's what he was going to do if he was healthy all year, based on what he was doing. That's good. It's not dominant. It's not groundbreaking.
He's also supposed to be our wide one, so he should definitely have over 1,000 if that was the case.
Not like,
but you're right. As a tight end position, 750 is pretty good. But if you're our number one receiver, We would like to see over 1,000 yards. Just saying.
We haven't had one in forever, Nose. Haven't had one of those in forever.
Yeah. OBJ.
Yeah. Connor says, there's nobody as bad as us. We will get the first pick. Don't you worry. Listen, I don't know if you've seen the Panthers play. The Cardinals.
Have you seen the Panthers?
We've seen the Cardinals. We beat them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying third to fifth pick, I think, is where we'll end up probably. Even the Bears. I mean, listen, the Bears have spent a lot of money this offseason, but they've been bad.
So bad.
See, Connor says Bears thought Justin Fields was answer 2. They shouldn't get Caleb, get Michael Penix Jr. See, they should have given gig to my boy Alec McGough. Well, you and this guy, who's this Green Bay kid he likes so much?
Right? What?
Every episode. I honestly don't even know. I think he was like XFL guy or something, I think. Right? Let's see. We're gonna look up Alex here. Yeah. He's 27 years old. 27, guys. Yeah. Not so good. Yeah, he would play the USFL last year for the Birmingham Stallions. Yeah. I don't think. I don't think that's the guy, Connor. Sorry. All due respect. I don't think that's the guy. Let's see. Brian Stack says, start from the top down. Maras are not exempt. This is terrible. Ben McAdoo, Pat Shurmur, and JoJo twice. We deserve more. We definitely deserve more. I think, honestly, I think this team as a whole needs to do something to thank the fans. And I don't mean a medium Coke. I think they need to do something for the fan base as a whole to get us to feel like we're appreciated. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm just fucking sick of these shitty teams. I really am. And I'll still keep on watching. I'll still keep on watching. I'll still keep on supporting. We'll still keep on doing the show, obviously. Like, none of that's going to change. But, I'll tell you this. I will not put a fucking dime of my money into Mara's pockets. I will not buy anything Giants related that's going to get the money. I will not, obviously I'm down here in Florida. It's a little more difficult, but I wouldn't go to a game right now. If I go to a game, I actually might go to the one in New Orleans still, but that's not going to be going into Mara's pockets. That goes into the Benson's pockets. I think that the Benson's the family that owns Saints.
I think so. Yeah.
I know the old guy I used to was Benson before he died. I'm not gonna enable this situation anymore. I think that's what we need. We gotta go ahead and send a message to them that we're done. The Giants fans were pissed. We did it towards the end with Judge, and it mattered. That's why Judge got fired. And I'm not calling for Dable to get fired. Don't misread that. I don't want to see another scenario where they think it's okay to put on a shitty team because we keep on giving them money. Because that's what they do as owners. They care about their pocket. It's a product for them.
Yes. It is. It's a money-making thing. So if your team doesn't play well, people don't go to the game. People don't spend money on the merchandise.
Yep.
And we sit outside the stadium like this.
Yep. And if you're a season ticket person and you have season tickets, show up in a paper bag. Do a little New Orleans Aints.
There you go.
Something's got to get done. You already spent the money. You might as well go. I mean, I'm not crazy. You already spent the money. Go have some barbecue out of the parking lot and go put a paper bag on and go inside.
Touche. A blue paper bag.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, the blue one.
Can't support another team.
Yeah.
Guys, got the Browns.
My dad says we need a different offensive line blocking philosophy because whatever they're teaching doesn't work. We need a different coach.
That's Exactly what I was saying before.
We need a new coach. I mean, but I think that Mike Munchak is the guy. That's the guy that they got to open up the checkbooks. Like, I don't care what it costs. We're getting this guy. We're going to come out of retirement and fix this shit once and for all. And make sure he's got a good assistant beneath him that can learn from him and eventually take over so we don't have these problems going forward. Because Munchak retired right now. He's chilling at home. He's not going to coach for long if he does. But someone's got to fix this shit. Deb says combination of bad O-line and bad quarterback equals shit regardless. Yes, you're 100% right. She says Will Levis is another late round quarterback that's looking pretty good. He was, I believe, a second round pick. So I don't know if I call him a late one. He just wasn't a first round.
Late in the second round, right?
What was that?
He was late in the second round.
He was. I'm trying to look here to see. 33rd pick. So yeah, like first pick of the second round.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see here. Alex Smith says, "What was the score? Don't make us revisit it again." But Raiders 30, Giants 6. Deb says Panthers won't pick QB, so don't care about their pick. They don't have their pick. That was part of the trade when they got the first overall pick this past year. So that goes to the Bears. So the Bears have their pick plus the Panthers pick. So the Bears have all the ammo to get whatever quarterback they want, assuming that the first overall pick is tradable if it's not theirs. Connor says, look up his stats. Alec McGough, he just needs that opportunity. Why do you think Green Bay got him? They know Jordan Love isn't the guy. You could say, well, why do you think the Giants got Tommy DeVito? Just because the guy's on a roster doesn't make him good all of a sudden. So,
yeah.
Alex says, Alex says just what we said about that, and Deb's acknowledging, yes, she forgot about that. Let's see here. Alex says a lot of good QBs are coming out this year. You know what? I hear every goddamn year that. Seriously. Every goddamn year. You know when I stop hearing that? When the season's over. Oh, this crop of quarterbacks is not as good. Next year, though, there's 10 great quarterbacks coming out. Every fucking year, that's what they do. I'm not going to fall for any of this shit until we go ahead and watch the tape and do some actual research on these guys, because the only year that we knew going ahead was going to be a shit year quarterback was 2 years ago, when it was like, Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett and Desmond Ridder,
Alex Smith,
Tim Howell.
Alex Smith, or are you just in Alex Smith?
I don't think he is the Alex Smith, no. I'm going to doubt that. It's probably a popular name. If I had to guess, there's a good amount of Alex Smiths in the world.
It probably is. Let's
see. My dad says, yeah, Levis was a second-round pick. Alex Smith says the Cardinals are tanking. Good. They should be tanking. You know who else should be tanking? Us. Tank away.
The Bears.
Tank. It's got to get done. Because, again, guys, we have nothing to gain. That's where we're at. We have nothing to gain whatsoever. At this point, all it is about getting young players. This is about getting young players a chance to, go ahead and get some extra, time on the field, and that's it. Getting our corner some more time, getting, guys like Micah McFadden some extra time. This is a chance to get, for us to take a look at McKinney and go, okay, is this the guy we want to keep as part of this? Do we want to build around this guy? Like, that's where we're at. Like, that's legit. All that's left this season.
Yeah.
So, call me crazy. That's where I'm at. Unless you guys can think of another good reason to watch this.
Let's see what we have in the field. Let's see what talent we want to keep them moving forward.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the rest. Let's start training up and training out.
Yep.
Because
part of the problem we're into is we have no money, so it's kind of like hard to do it. And we talk about trading out. Like, nobody wants our players. They suck.
Not all of them suck.
It's dangerous that I'm multitasking.
Somewhere for a trade?
But I found a good video that I think sums up my thoughts in the rest of the season.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yes, that's where I'm at. It's tank time. Tank. It's time to tank. Let's see. Alex says Arizona is 1-7 now. Yeah, they are, but Kyrie's going to come back. Kyrie Murray is going to come back, guys. And when he comes back... Huh? Kyler Murray, sorry.
Kyler Murray.
Kyrie Irving, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like mixing professional athletes with issues like, playing for their team. But when he comes back, they're going to win some games. They're not going to be one of... This is a good coach team. This is a team with a defense that's been playing decent for at times. But like us, they have no offense. They can't get shit going. All of a sudden, you put a halfway decent quarterback, which is what Kyler Murray basically is. He's a halfway decent quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He's a halfway decent one. You're going to see this team start winning.
A better half of the halfway decent.
He's an average quarterback. He's an average quarterback, except in height.
Yeah,
he's a below average height.
Yeah, below average height, above average quarterback.
Yes, he's the Mighty Mouse of quarterbacks. But you put him in there, and all of a sudden they're going to start winning games. I'm telling you right now, like that's a team that's going to start winning games, and he's going to be back in the next week or two. He's not far from this. I'm telling you. So, you look at the games.
Instead, they had Tiny Toons play today.
Look at the games they have going up, though. So they got the Falcons, not a good team. The Texans, okay team. Rams, not a good team. Steelers, okay team. Then they got Niners, good team, obviously. But then they got the Bears, not a good team. And they got the Eagles, okay, good team. Hate to say it. And they got the Seahawks, who got their butts handed to them. Literally, I feel like freaking the Ravens took a Ginsu knife to their left and right butt cheeks, cut it off, and handed it to the Seahawks. That's how bad that game was.
I mean, 3 of those are divisional games you're talking about.
But I'm just saying, like, they have
either way. You say, all right, the Rams aren't that good of a team, but once again, it's a divisional game. So,
but let's say they beat the Rams, they beat the Cardinals, and they beat one of their surprise team. Now they got 4 wins.
Cardinals?
Huh? Yes, Cardinals beat the Cardinals. Rams, the Bears, and one other team.
Yeah,
that's now they have 3 more wins. They're 4 and 13. We can beat that. We can beat that. We can do it.
we have a worse record. We got this.
So, yeah, that's where we're at, guys. We're at rooting for our team to lose.
Oh,
sad but true. All righty, guys. Well, tomorrow night we'll be back. We're going to go over all with you guys all of the games for teams that don't suck. So even the ones that do suck, I guess, too. What the hell? So we'll give you guys a recap for all the games here from this week here. We'll be back on our usual schedule again. Now, we still owe you guys also, for those guys who are subscribers, the subscriber only episode. Rob and I are still to figure that out. Problem is, I alluded to before, I got family in from out of town, so scheduling things right now is a little difficult right now. As it is, Rob and I got to figure out how to do our picks episode on Wednesday because I'll be in Disney Tuesday and Wednesday. So listen, you live in Florida, okay? I'll be at the Animal Planet. Maybe I'll do the show live from Pandora.
There we go.
So we'll have to figure that stuff out as we go, but we'll figure it out. We always do. Just may have one recorded episode. We'll see. But like I said, we'll keep everything going there as best as scheduled as we can, and we will get that subscriber at one out there soon, since we were planning on doing that one night, and then Leonard Williams had to get traded. So, things happen. Movers, shakers, things happen. So the nice thing is we'll still be doing it. We'll still be around. And like I said, we appreciate all you guys that are listening, watching. I know, especially with the way the Giants have been playing, it's a little difficult sometimes to watch and to listen. And you just want to throw things, but we're here with you. We're here throwing things. We're here, raiding our liquor cabinet. So, like I said, appreciate you guys. We're here for you. We're with you on the disgust, the frustration, the sadness. So come cry with us each week as we lose, and eventually those tears will turn into happy thoughts. We talk about quarterbacks that we actually have a chance of getting in the draft, because that's what this is all about at this point. If you want to win, that's how you win. You win by losing. I hate to say it, but that's what's going to have to happen. We need a quarterback. Quarterbacks don't just grow magically on trees, okay? No matter what the Patriots fans tell you.
College.
Yes. And if you want a good one, this is what you have to do. So let's we'll have to lose a little to win a little. And like I said, it's not even a guarantee, but we get nothing by winning the rest of the season. So let's see what we got here. Okay, we got a couple more comments, but let's see here. Alex says, Kyler Murray is the Cardinals franchise QB. No point in bringing him back now, right? Well, they have no QB. Remember, they traded Josh Dobbs to the Vikings, who did play today, by the way, for the Vikings.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. He had a decent,
scored a touchdown
day.
It's almost like you can put a quarterback in after a couple of days and let him throw the ball.
Yeah, it was.
Look at you guys, Giants. Look at you guys, Giants.
Yeah, I looked at that game with, we have a backup quarterback.
Things to make you go.
Things to make you go. We can't let him throw the ball, but
yeah, because he sucks.
We have Dobbs.
Dobbs is better than him. I'm sorry. And Dobbs isn't that good. Don't get me wrong. That's not me saying that.
A professional backup.
Yeah, it is what it is. And we got Life of Talib Din family, and please let me know if I mispronounced that, because I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that with the double A. I want to make sure. But it says new to the channel. Welcome to the channel, guys.
Welcome.
Appreciate it. Welcome. And I see kids in the pictures. I'm sorry if they were listening to her started cursing. We can't help ourselves right now. We can't help ourselves. But yeah, guys, again, we'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Appreciate everybody stopping on in. Appreciate everybody in the chat, people watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Do me a favor. It helps us big time getting this pushed out to other people. Hit the subscribe button as well. It's another button that really helps us here. Like I said, we have monetized now on Facebook, where you can actually send stars. We'll be monetizing here hopefully soon on YouTube as well. But we need your guys' help on that, because the scary thing is, and this is the weird thing about the YouTube world for those who may not know it. So in order to get monetized on YouTube, you have to be a certain number of subscribers. That's why hitting that subscribe button helps so much. And having a certain number of hours watched. So we're going to hit the hours watched here within a couple months here, no problem. But they want 500 subscribers. We have about 162, I think, right now. I could be off one or so. But they want 500. But the scary thing, if you look at other Giants channels that have like 2,000 subscribers, we actually have better numbers than they do as far as watches. I'm not going to name anybody's name specifically. We're doing it organically. We're doing it the right way. We appreciate any help you guys can give us there. We don't want to do it the fake way. We want to earn anything we get. So again, guys, we'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Appreciate that. As always, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. Oh, yes. And of course, we're available on pretty much every audio podcast platform known to man. So if you guys do prefer the audio platforms there, guess what? We got you covered on the audio stuff too as well. So we are available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all the big players there. So tune on into us there as well. Or even that TuneIn, which is also one of them, because that's a fun name. And again, guys, we will see you guys next time. Same bat station, same bat channel here. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we'll be on. We'll talk about, like I said, all the games here coming on. There's some good games this week too as well. And then after that, like I said, picks on a Wednesday. We got to go over who gets to win the cup of coffee with some mayo, depending on who.
Mayo coffee challenge.
Oh, the mayo coffee. Yes. Oh, yes. All righty. And then, as always, Giant fans, even though we're pissed at them right now, we're still going to do it. As always,
Go G-Man.
Go G-Man. Go G-Man. Go G-Man. Go to the number one pick, G-Man. Number one pick. Number one pick. We're number one pick.
G-Man.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.